Black people want to be left alone. They don't want revenge. They don't want to replace us, as some extremist groups have said. They just want to live life in peace, the way they want to live. They want family, they want love, and they want to live in a society where they know they belong here. They want society to also know that they belong here. They want to walk out their door and not worry that they're going to be treated unfairly, or they're going to get that look like they're not welcome, or that someone's going to try to touch their hair like a zoo animal. Yes, they want they want white people to fix white problems of prejudice and ignorance and all the ways that a wrongful sense of superiority is baked into our society. Yes, they want that to change. Yes, they want acknowledgement for harms done. They don't want us to just explain things away or justify or gloss over things without really listening. But more than anything, they want to be themselves, fully express who they are, love who they are, be with their family, and live in peace. That's it.
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. I hope wherever you're watching, you're having a great time. Many times we have always talked about how black people are hated in America. But then the question here is, are they hated, or it is just that the whites are so much obsessed with blacks? This is a question that many have asked because they are looking at how whites always want to get involved in almost everything that blacks are doing. And the blacks are saying, please leave us alone. You have survived through racism and other discriminative tendencies that have existed in America, and we have nothing to do with you, so leave us alone. But then it seems whites do not really understand this. They think that black people are people who must be guided on how they are supposed to live their lives. There are people who must be criticized day and night about how they conduct different activities in their community. And this is not sitting well with black people. They want to be left alone. They want to handle and do their things. They want to sort out their issues alone. And they don't want anybody coming to interfere with how they are living their lives. So I've compiled a clip from different creators who are speaking about this obsession by white people over blacks. And it is quite interesting what they have to say. For sure, if blacks have nothing to offer, isn't it just good for you to leave them alone, let them move and worry about their lives by themselves, instead of coming out and getting involved in almost everything that they are doing? I wanted to listen to some of the reactions that these people are saying about the white obsession over blacks. Let's watch this. I shall come back in the end with my commentaries.
This is how I know that racism is literally just jealousy. Because if you don't like a group of people, if you don't like someone or something, you leave it alone. You leave them alone, because if you don't like something or someone, you avoid them. But the thing with racists, or especially anti-black racists, they do not leave us the fuck alone. Like, how can you claim to hate black people yet be obsessed with them and be involved in everything they do? Anti-black racists literally claim to hate black people yet will literally not leave them alone. And you can see this with history. You can see this with segregation era, when black people were actually thriving on their own and yet white people destroyed their communities. It's just like, how can you claim to hate us yet want to be us and be so obsessed with us and our culture? You try to make us look bad. You come up with these crazy ass slurs to call us. There is just so much anti-blackness throughout America's conception that I literally could make like not even 2 hours. Like, I could be ranting about this forever. It's honestly just insane how you claim to hate us, yet you are literally obsessed with us. We live in your head rent-free.
These people are Native American Indians one day, Moors the next day, Israelites by a blink of an eye, FBA by sunrise. I don't know what they call themselves these days, and for you to say we are the whatever. First of all, how about we're every fucking thing? Is that hard to grasp? The way you go over to Asia and you see Koreans, you see people that are Vietnamese, you see people that are Chinese, you see people that are Filipino, but they're all Asian. You see how they're all different ethnic groups? You see how that works? You see how they all have different identity markers, but yet they're all Asian. You get that, right? What is so hard about believing that people that have melanin were all over the world and had different identities, different ethnic groups, different nationalities? Just like Africa is a whole goddamn continent. People that's Nigerian and the South Africans, they don't identify as each other. They actually fight amongst each other. They have different languages. They have different customs. The commonality is that they're all on the same continent. The commonality is that a lot of them share the same hue of complexion. But they're different. Y'all understand differences when it comes to Latin people. A Brazilian is not a Colombian is not a Puerto Rican, a Dominican is not a Mexican is not an Ecuadorian. Y'all understand the differences and y'all understand the commonalities when it comes to different groups of people. But when it comes to us, we all have to be the same. It's hypocrisy at this point. Stop being disrespectful. People can identify how they want to. That's just like different religious beliefs. There's people that look like me that might be a Christian, might be a Catholic, might be a Jehovah's Witness. We're all different. Just because we look the same doesn't mean that we don't practice different things, or it doesn't mean that we don't have different cultures. It doesn't mean that our ethnicities are exactly the same. The more you know, even in America, I'm not the same as a black person that's in New Orleans, and I'm not the same as a black person that's in California. I'm not the same as a black person from Kentucky. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Y'all are very dense, and it's intentional when it comes to us, and it's very sad because everyone else gets to identify how they see fit. Everyone gets to trace their lineage back and be who they want to be and bring the stories down from what their grandmothers told them. But when it comes to us, it's a lie, it's a scam. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way.
I just feel like non-black people that are people of color that claim to be allies and they care about us and all that, blah, 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 blah. They like to date us, befriend us. I think y'all need to be better at holding the people in your lives, like the non-black people in your lives, accountable for their anti-blackness and colorism. I hate how you guys go out of your way to have black partners, black friendships, love black culture, black style, black music. But when you guys are at the dinner table talking to your family, you guys are okay with your grandma calling your boyfriend a hard ER. The hatred that a lot of people have towards black people, black women, is something that has been rooted in them since they were children. This is something that is taught. In most cultures, mind you, like darker skin is always like lesser value in a lot of fucking in most cultures. It's beyond blackness. And a lot of you guys like to benefit off of black people, but you guys don't actually care to call out the racist and the colorism in your life or to even change the system. And whether you like to admit it or not, it's because you guys benefit from the said system. And it's actually so disgusting because it feels like you guys don't even view black people, especially black women, as actual human beings with the same emotions, feelings, needs, desires as you guys. And it's disgusting. Unfortunately, situations like Kenny isn't rare at all. It's not. And I think the scariest thing about situations like Kenny and Janae is the fact that, like, what if they did end up having the 4 kids that she wanted and all that stuff? Now they have 4 black fucking children, racist father, racist family on one side. It's just dangerous. It's a bad system. And a lot of you guys, black people, do not care to keep on making that system. Like, you guys keep on dating these like people with racist families, racist past, racist history. And you guys are just like, well, people grow up, people learn, blah, 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 blah. No, you really, this conversation makes me so mad. I'm just going to end it here. I just feel like as black people, especially, we need to be careful with who we hang out with when it comes to non-black people as a whole. It is okay to be picky. It is so okay. I am the type of person, when I surround myself with non-black people, I am studying them for a little bit because I need to know what type of person you really are. I need to know if you're really there to ride for black people or if you're just somebody that just likes the benefits of being around a black person. Because a lot of people seriously do like to study us. We are literally the blueprint. We are the blueprint. So people do benefit from being around us. And the amount of mixed people that I know that have had like experiences in their childhood where like their mother is like calling them the N-word when they get mad, and situations where their grandmother doesn't even like to be around them because they have a black father. Let's end that system. Like, please, 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 please. Let's really think about who we surround ourselves with, because it is dangerous. It does have effects to it. You really can't, as a black person, live your life all the time just being nonchalant and not give a fuck, because it's always going to it's never going to benefit you.
You can always tell a person who has yet to be punched in the mouth by the way they conduct themselves. A group of melanated individuals organized an event, the Black Joy Festival. They are there in this public park enjoying themselves, very joyous occasion. That is until, of course, a white lady shows up with a big ass microphone and a camera asking these people questions about Trump. They don't want her there. She refuses to leave. She wants to harass people and ask them questions about Trump because she wants to trigger people. Cops get called. The cops tell her to stop harassing people, stop following people around. If they don't want to talk to you, leave them alone. She refuses to do so. When I tell you, sometimes you have to just take that charge, knock some teeth out. So when they think about doing it another time, they'll rub their tongue across them gums and remember the last time they tried it.
So I just found out as I was scrolling on TikTok that Trump has taken over the National Archives, where our history is. He took over the Kennedy Center and all of that. And you know what? I'm just going to be really honest. And this video could, be taken down or whatever. But at this point, I really don't give a damn. Listen, it just seemed like we are being targeted. This is not to make America great, not by fucking with black people. You're intentionally trying to erase our history and just take everything from us to make it hard to get jobs and education. So basically what this man is saying is that he wants us to go back to how it used to be back in the day when they could just unalive us at will and hang us from trees and like little decorations and nobody said anything. That's what he wants. That's what's happening. We have no voice. They don't want to hear our voice. They want us to shut up. I heard that the NFL is regretting Kendrick Lamar's halftime, and they say they should have went with Lil Wayne. But let me tell you something. Had they went with Lil Wayne, see, everybody would. They got a problem with Kendrick, but they really would have had a problem with Lil Wayne because you can't understand what he's saying. I love Lil Wayne, you understand? But he's not the same. Something is going on, and that brother needs help. But you got to understand, they don't want us to be conscious. They don't want us to be conscious of what's going on. So let me make a big rah, rah, rah about it. Like it was just so bad. How could it be so bad? We weren't out there being explicit. We was not showing our asses. You didn't have to, I mean, there was no twerking. None of that. Do you understand? But they had a hard time, just processing that. It was too much. It was too much knowledge. It was too much of this one black man being conscious. He telling everybody like, hey, they knew what it was. That's why they're pissed, because they didn't want that. They wanted to be entertained. I want you jumping around and flipping and spinning around. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be the clown. Entertain me. That's what they wanted. And Kendrick Lamar gave us the message. And they're pissed about it. But let me just say this. I don't know why white people, because I have to say just white, I don't know why they think trying to exterminate the black community or the black race is going to make things better for them. It's not. Y'all already going through it. This is what I'm saying. Just look at all the companies that have lost money because black people have just stopped supporting. That's it. Target is now saying, hey, we sorry, but it's low. You understand what I'm saying? See, at first it was just out loud and just, in your face. We don't want your business. We don't want y'all working here. We don't want this. We don't want that. And we don't have to. So, okay, fine. So we don't shop at Target. Now Target is saying, damn, I think we done looked up. We need y'all. We didn't know what we had did and we sorry. But, the black community is like, we don't want to hear your sorries. We okay. We don't have to shop at Target. We don't have to shop at Walmart. We don't have to shop at none of those outlets, those department stores, anything. We don't have to do that. We could find other places to go. See, it's like they want to make it hard for us. Keep fucking with us. I'm telling you, it's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good. You cannot just do what you want to do to black people. It's not going to happen. And for those that don't like it, so what? You can't. We are human beings. We are human beings. God gave us life, not y'all. God, like God gave you life. Do you understand? So it's almost like maybe y'all think that if we became conscious enough to understand what's going on and to knowing who we are, we might come together as a collective and overthrow y'all. We don't give a damn about y'all. We're not even paying y'all no attention. That's the whole point. Just stop fucking with us. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. It's like anything that happens, it's a black person. Y'all keep talking about Obama. That man ain't been in office for a ding, okay? You still talking about Obama. Let it go. Let it go. Black people are smart too. That's all I'm saying. And we're one of the smartest, race of people. That's why I say, like, you can't make us feel bad about who we are. I'm proud to be a black woman. I don't give a damn how nobody feel. You can take the National Archives. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with them. But you will never, ever take away who I am as a black woman. And the fact that you want to do this is crazy to me at being as old as you are. You understand what I'm saying? This man is knocking on the door. He's 78 years old and still, this is what I'm saying. It don't matter how old or how young. Hate is hate. He don't like us. And there are a lot of people that feel the same way that he feels. So for those out there that don't like black people, we okay with y'all not liking us. We don't give a damn. But don't ask us to do shit. Oh, okay. Bye-bye.
Black people are still resting. And they're going to be resting for quite some time. Okay? Because I don't think y'all understand the severity. Like, I think that there's some people out here that think that black people are playing. And that we'll eventually get over this and we'll get back to work. No. We will get back to work in our community. Black Americans will be okay because we put in the work. It's the rest of the people of color groups that have not put in the work because they came to this country with rights that black Americans fought and bled and died for. So when black people say that we are resting, that is what we mean. It is not just this election. It is not just this. It is a culmination of so many disappointments from our existence on this stolen land. Okay? Because let's be clear. America is a stolen land built by stolen people. At the end of the day, that is what America is. Black Americans decided that they wanted to make something out of nothing. And that is what we have done for hundreds of years. And have literally laid a table together for everybody to be equitable. Okay? Equitable. All we want is equity, not revenge, not a leg up in the world, but equity across the board. And because America said that that's not what she wants, everybody is going to have to reap what they sow. Black people have been sowing seeds of equity, civil rights movements, voting rights movements. We have been sowing good seeds. So over the next 4 to 8 or however many years, Black Americans are going to be okay. It's all the other groups that we were worried about. But y'all let us know y'all not worried about yourselves, so we can't.
Can we talk? It's been a while. I know. But black women, we're still resting. Yep. Black people as a whole, we are tightening up our ship. Black people as a whole, we are building community amongst each other. Everything else around us is just a distraction at this point because we warned, we shared information, infographics, data, and statistics of what might happen. And clearly, people did not believe that fat meat is greasy. And that video that I just shared was a couple of days after the election, after I had gotten all the tears out, after I had cried it out, after I had prayed it out, all the things. And I said, this was different because the levee of trust broke all the way, right? Black people have lived in a certain, Black Americans, the descendants of the enslaved, have lived on this stolen land for quite some time, and we understand patterns. We understand when the shift in the atmosphere changes, and we move accordingly. And what we're seeing is we have conditioned ourselves to do that. We have conditioned ourselves to pivot when the temperature changes. And a lot of people now are seeing the temperature change, not just feel it, but see it in real time, and they don't know how to react and they don't know how to deal. So anybody that is getting on this app trying to tell Black women to do anything, trying to tell the 80% of Black American men to do anything right now other than do what we've been doing the past 10, 11, almost 12 months, you're part of the problem, not the solution. I hate to say it, but some of us ain't gonna make it because we too busy trying to argue with stupid. We too busy trying to argue with stupid. And I just refuse. This is your friendly reminder. We know how we got here. Our rest is important. How we mobilize look different.
a lot of the revolution will not be televised. And that's why a lot of folks is mad, because they don't know what we doing and it scares them. Okay? So while you all are building out your community, while you are tightening up the ship, whether you all are saving more money, because when I tell you, I get annoyed when I have to spend any amount of money, because I have gotten so like, I work hard for my money, and I'm not just about to give it to anybody or anything, because it's apparent y'all don't care about my money. Y'all care about my money, but y'all don't care about me, and that's a problem. It's some places I don't go no more. It's some people I don't see anymore, because at the end of the day, we have got to guard our gates. We have got to guard our peace. We have got to guard our energy, because the more chaos ensues, the more dangerous people get. The more, people do stuff because they just can't pinpoint what Negroes is doing, and they mad about it. So at the end of the day, make sure that you are moisturizing. SPF is necessary for us. Drink your 6 to 8 glasses of water or more. Make sure that you are getting in the gym. As I talk to you, I'm talking to myself, because we in for a long ride, but it is nothing that our ancestors have not done that we cannot do again and better, to make sure that when we come on the other side of this, we don't have to, this can literally just be a lesson. But this is a hard lesson, because now everybody is learning it, because y'all just didn't want to believe Black people who have been oppressed in this land for quite some time. Yep, slavery is ended, but systemic racism is everywhere. And now y'all are figuring out that racism, classism, otherism, is all on the same boat now. So, y'all be well.
Would you be my friend? That's the video that I just saw scrolling through my For You page. And it is of this white man who's wearing a baseball cap. And he is staring earnestly into the camera. And the first thing he says is, to all the Black people, Mexican, and people of other races, would you be my friend? If I approached you in the park and started talking to you, would you be my friend? Then he goes on to say, I am so sorry for what my ancestors did. Now, I didn't do it, but I know what my ancestors did hurt you. Please get the fuck out of here. First of all, hell no, I would not be your friend. And I do not recommend that you see a Black person out in public that you do not know and go up to them. Those kind of videos, and I didn't stitch it because I do not want to give that kind of content any boost in numbers and viewership at all. But it really does just infuriate me, the fact that white people still do that. Would you be my friend? I love all races. That's a different iteration of I don't see color. And after the election, all of the white people on social media, let's just take TikTok. I voted for Kamala. I'm not like those other white people. Let me tell you something. It's performative. There's that word. And it is also disingenuous. First of all, how are Black people supposed to know you love Black people and everybody of all races? We cannot tell that just by looking at you. And those of us who do have common sense, in a sense of self-preservation, we're not just going to take you at face value. If I walk up to you in the park and started talking to you, would you be my friend? Hell no. I would back up and keep minding my business and keep it moving. This nation continues to let collectively Black people know that it doesn't care anything about us. Last November 5th was another resounding message to the Black community. I'm Black, so I'm just going to keep it to my community. And all of this hand wringing because you all are trying to assuage white guilt. You all need to be doing some hard work in dismantling white supremacy and taking a stroll through downtown corridors on a Saturday holding up signs and chanting is not going to do it. And see you all go in that voting booth and you vote to uphold white supremacy that harms black people and everybody else that does not look like you, so that you can keep the racial caste system that is in operation in this country that benefits you and disadvantages black people and everybody else. You working actively to dismantle that system is how you show black people that you love all races and that you want to be friends. Get out of here with that crap. Would you be my friend? No, we wouldn't.
Welcome back to the channel. Now, that fascination that whites have over black people is quite interesting, and I think they need just to leave blacks alone. Blacks have nothing to do with them. They're not even worried about how they're living their lives. Blacks are always doing their thing. They have suffered through different regimes. They have gone through different challenges together, and their resilience has always paid off. So I don't see any need for whites to come and get so obsessed with the things that black people are doing. If they want to offer anything, they should offer it to themselves. Blacks are good to go. They don't need anybody to come lecturing them on how they need to live their lives or even how they should conduct their private businesses. This is just something that they have to allow black people to live their lives the way they want, instead of having a situation where they are being considered as a people who are not respectful to a community that has suffered so much for the American government and American state to be how it is today. The fascination, or some describe it as obsession, that some white Americans exhibit towards black people is rooted in a long and complex history of race relations in the United States. From the days of slavery through the Jim Crow era and into the present, the black body has occupied a paradoxical space in the white imagination, simultaneously feared, fetishized, and appropriated. During slavery, white society dehumanized black people to justify exploitation, yet was also deeply entangled with them, economically, socially, and even intimately. This historical dynamic created a lingering psychological tension that continues to influence how some white people engage with blackness today. Their fascination often reflects a mix of guilt, curiosity, envy, and denial that stems from centuries of racial hierarchy and cultural interdependence. In modern times, this obsession manifests in a range of behaviors, from the appropriation of black culture and vernacular to the over-policing or over-scrutiny of black lives. White fascination with black culture, for instance, can be seen in the widespread adoption of hip-hop fashion, slang, hairstyles, and musical styles, often without acknowledgement of their origin or the struggles tied to them. This cultural consumption frequently occurs alongside a lack of empathy for systemic injustices black people face, revealing a kind of selective appreciation. It's as if some white Americans want to enjoy the aesthetics and the creative outputs of black lives without confronting the pain and resilience that gave rise to them. Another form of this obsession lies in the gaze of surveillance and societal commentary. The excessive attention to black athletes, entertainers, and social figures can quickly turn into collective scrutiny or moral policing. Black success and visibility often provokes both admiration and resentment, which coexist in a contradictory fashion. The media's fixation on black public figures, whether celebrating or condemning them, reinforces a circle in which black individuals are hypervisible, yet still not fully humanized. This dynamic echoes older forms of racial voyeurism, where blackness is treated as a spectacle rather than as a normal facet of humanity. Psychologically, some scholars argue that the obsession is tied to unresolved racial anxiety among white Americans. For many, the very existence of blackness challenges the myths of white innocence and superiority that have underpinned the American social order. When confronted with vitality and creativity of black culture, some white people experience both attraction and threat. This ambivalence can lead to mimicry, exocitation, or defensive hostility, all symptoms of a deeper discomfort with racial difference and with America's unheard historical wounds. The obsession thus serves as a way to both engage with and control what they subconsciously perceive as a challenge to their social identity. Ultimately, the recent outcry from Black Americans against this pattern reflects a call for genuine respect rather than fascination. Many Black voices are urging white counterparts to move beyond performative admiration or defensive curiosity and towards authentic solidarity and equality. True engagement requires relinquishing the need to consume or define Blackness and instead acknowledging it is autonomous, multifaceted, and self-determining. The critique is not merely about cultural appropriation or attention. It's about the persistent imbalance of power that allows fascination to substitute for understanding and curiosity to stand in the place of justice. So it is high time white people left Black people alone and allowed them do their things. This entire obsession, this entire hyper surveillance that Blacks are subjected to need not to be happening in America. You realize that if a Black athlete, for example, or a Black media personality is engaged in any confrontation with another person, they are always depicted as people who are violent or people who are not having any level of respect. For example, remember when Serena Williams was engaged in some verbal altercation during her tennis games? She got a huge media attention and serious backlash just because she was Black and she was so effective in her thing that many white people felt threatened and they didn't want to have her continue leading in the tennis field. So that really is telling you the level of challenges that Black people continue facing and they continue having over the years in America. Share your thoughts down in the comment section. And if you're watching us for the first time, remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share. Thank you. Let's meet on the next one.